Sorry guys, my last video had no audio. I'm trying to fix the microphone to see if it's working now. If one of you are watching, make sure if you can comment to see if you can hear me. But I will redo the stream if the volume works and everything works, I will redo the whole stream. If you guys can just comment to see if you guys can hear me. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up somewhere else and see if the mic works. Awesome. Somebody confirmed it. So it does work. I guess we're going to go ahead and get started. First, we are looking at the Weeble stock again. And I know I broke this down already on Friday, but again, just looking at this, how we've recently been selling off. If you look at 1 day time frame, the high that we made, 1832, and then once we sold off, came all the way down to the EMA, came back up, and then after that, we've just been selling off. A lot of people are wondering, when are we going to finally start reversing? Are we going to continue this downtrend, or are we finally going to be going up here pretty soon? So this whole last drop that we did, you can see that the 4-hour EMA has crossed over, indicating a huge bearish pattern. After that, look at how we started forming this reversal. The lows kept getting lower, but then they started getting higher, almost like a U-shaped reversal. Right here, we broke through the EMA, but quickly sold off. And then we retested this low and came right back showing confidence. But then the next few days, once we didn't break through, you kind of see how we fizzled away and went down. Once we got to this point, to this very low here, we only broke it by only like a few cents. And then look at this huge candle. This is one of the most, like, the more positive signs that I've seen when a stock is reversing, because this is saying this zone is an extremely good buy zone. It almost didn't go. If we got rejected, why didn't we go a lot lower? Instead, we only came down here and it instantly got bought up. And then on Friday when it closed, we didn't even want to pull back. We pretty much stayed here. Breaking the 4-hour EMA twice like this already pretty much means that everybody wants this stock to go up. Most of the people have already sold and are not wanting to sell off. But in order for this to be confirmed, we've already established the support. We've broken the 4-hour EMA. But for this to be a confirmed a full reversal, we have to break this high, which is 1397. Once we break that zone, this is going to be considered a full reversal. We might pull back because the moving average, but we are now going to be uptrending. That's what's going to break this whole zone. That's what's going to break this entire reversal, and then from there we will see where we're going to go. We're green 2 days in a row now, and if you take a look at the 4-hour EMA, we're getting overpriced, but we're not that overpriced yet. I really think that, well, the futures are going to open up at 8 o'clock. We'll see where this is going. But if we break this high, then that's the next price target, 1397. I think in the next few days, if we can confirm this, then every pullback is going to be bought up really, really, like, a lot. So like every time you see a pullback, you're going to see a lot of volume shooting back up, because that's going to be indicating that we are now uptrending. That's when I'm going to load up on a lot more of my position. I've got in early because I still want to make some money while we go up. But once we break this 1397 is when I'm going to start loading up. And that's going to be based on the volatility. And if we're going to be selling off a lot, I will be holding off. But if we're going to show good confidence, I will keep steadily loading up all the way until we get to $16. But somebody asked me in the last video if I can break down RDW, and that is the Redwire Corporation. Also, if you guys want me to break down a stock, make sure you comment down below. I will be breaking down stocks tonight. But Redwire, if we take a look on a big scale, on the 1 day scale, look how we've been slowly growing, but then the candles got bigger and bigger. I'm not sure if this is manipulation because the volume is increasing, or if the stock itself is growing. If the stock itself is growing and then we had this massive sell off, this kind of indicates to me that there was some huge problem with the stock or the company. So before I would be trading this, I would be looking at the balance sheets and I would be looking at their income, revenues, all that stuff to confirm that I want to put my money into this. If the stock is not that bad, and I did look into this earlier, um, they aren't making as much money, and in fact, they are kind of losing money. But analysts are predicting this stock to be worth at least $18 a share, and I'm not exactly sure I mean, everybody has their own opinions and they're analysts, they're professionals. But once we had this huge sell off, look how we went up and we didn't go nowhere near as high. And look how fast we sold off. And then when we tried to retest it one more time, again, we didn't go as high, indicating that we are not going to break through and that we are going to go a lot lower. And this is why we came down. But now we are at support. So some of you are wondering, are we going to hold this support and at least try to retest this? And in my personal opinion, honestly, I think this support is about to get broken because if we already stabilized here, when we went up, we retested this and we failed. So why would we come back to the same price and then go back up all the way? If we already tried to retest this and failed, we most likely are now not going to hold support and go lower. And then after that, see if we're going to go higher after we break support. But if you are a true believer in this zone, I would wait to at least pull down closer to under $7. That way, your losses are not going to be as big if we do break, and then you can stop loss out if you want. But I would wait for this to get lower. If we take a look at the 4 hour time frame, we are not even building a reversal yet. We're still making lower lows. We attempted to break the 4 hour, but we did it once, and we're still showing really weak confidence. I'd be really careful with this right now. I would wait for this to start building higher lows at least. As of right now, we're downtrending, and I would personally stay away. But we are also going to be taking a look at Hood stock. Um, where is that one at? So a lot of you already know that Robinhood is a really solid company by this point, and we have been uptrending so much. This is the 1 week time frame. Uh, a lot of you are comparing this to Webull, and if you take a look at revenue and everything, Robinhood is completely. I mean, the idea, the business model, and everything is the same, but it has a lot more numbers compared to Webull. And look how long after its IPO, look how long it took us to build support to do all of this to slowly start. We first were selling off and then we did not our lows like started getting higher and higher. We broke the EMA, retested, didn't go as low again. This tells me confidence. And then we broke the EMA second time, retested it, didn't break it, and went up. And once we broke this high point, that was a confirmation for me. I actually started loading up here once we rebroke it, and I rode to about $30 a share. And I mean, I still sold at $30 a share, which was pretty cheap compared to the price we are now at 124. But from 10, $12, $14 to go to 30, that's 100% on your position, which was awesome for me. Um, but if we take a look at the recent, how much we've grown, I would personally not buy in here. We're pushing the top, and we are already green 3 days in a row right now. If I were to buy this, I would be waiting for a pullback. I know there's a lot of confidence in this. You can buy on a pullback and you can make a little bit of money. But imagine if we decide to pull back all the way to the EMA line. I don't necessarily think, with all the hype right now, I don't think that's very likely. But imagine on a little pullback, you buy in here just to make a little bit of money, and then your loss is a lot bigger if we go back down to the EMA. The point of trading is you want your losses to be smaller than your wins. You stop loss out a lot sooner than when I hold. When I hold a lot higher and I start reducing my position gradually as we get to the resistances. Um, for me personally, this seems too overpriced. It is a solid company. If you are trying to hold this for the long run, I would at least wait for some sort of pullback and then get in because, like I said, you buying up here and then we decide to have really bad market news and start pulling down, you can be in a loss to begin with rather than if you wait a little bit and just get it at a better price. Another thing is since we are up 3 green days in a row, if you think about it, we can't be green every single day. It's just a simple probability. If we're green 3, 4, 5 days in a row, what are the odds that the next day, Friday, or not Friday, I mean any other day after that fourth, fifth day is going to continue being green? There's going to be a red day at one point. If there's going to be a red day, you can kind of pre calculate these. And if you guys sit there and track, okay, today we were green, We're green another day. Once we get to 3, that's kind of like the magic number. Watch how the next day, how the volume and the volatility, how we start pulling down, because traders know we can't be green forever. There's going to be a red day. Even on quality companies, you can easily track this and watch how volume starts increasing once we get to the 3 magic number green days. Since we are green now, we potentially can go up right when the market opens, but then you're going to start seeing how fast we start selling off, because we just can't be green forever. And once one red day is confirmed, we can continue track like uptrending, because that is now reset. And vice versa, if we are 3 red days in a row, kind of like on Weeble stock, um, if we are 3 red days in a row and we start, you know, like over here, we had, look how many days we had, 3 or 4 red days in a row, and then all of a sudden we boosted up. Yeah, we were at support, but we can't be red forever. There's going to be some candles. We might have got rejected at the EMA, but it would have been still a solid gain. And that's what I was predicting. I was predicting we're going to bounce to the EMA. Wasn't sure if we're going to re-break it, but we did, and now the confidence is shifting. But yeah, if you guys want me to break down a stock, make sure you comment down below. We already broke down RWD or RDW, I'm sorry, Webull, Robinhood. I do have some people that were asking me about the Pepsi stock. Solid company, but um, in the recent amounts, we've seen a lot of volatility on this stock. Like if this is on the 1 week time frame, you can see how long it's been since we haven't made a high of 181.28. Let's take a look on the 1 month. Look at the 1 month scale, how we've been growing solid, and then all of a sudden we are declining. From what I've heard, there's been a lot of backlash about unhealthy food, and they're now trying to implement more healthier products into their sodas and everything else, and it's just like a big mess. A lot of people are losing confidence. Some people don't know if the trend is shifting, and are we going to be going sideways? Because also, you don't want to be investing into something that's going sideways, because then you're not making any money, but you are still exposed to the risk of it going down. I still think it's a solid company. I think they will figure it out, and I think right here, it'll just really depend on the news at this point. But they are paying a dividend, so if you're just holding for the dividend and you're taking that dividend and you're just buying more shares, that might be not a bad thing. But as of right now, I would be really watching the news on this and just making sure, because I do not like on the 4 hour time frame right here. Because look at how big this candle was, and then we sold off, broke the moving average, and now the 4 hour EMA kind of crossed over. We sold off to a new low here. We're attempting to test the 4 hour EMA. What I'd be watching for is we need one solid candle to go through both of these and break this high. If we break this high all in one swoop, we get confirmation. That means we rebroke the both EMA and moving average and broke the high. That tells me there's enough confidence for this to uptrend all the way up. As of right now, we are not breaking it. And take a look at this: one green day, 2, and 3. And we are right at that moving over the EMA line. If we get rejected here and get one red day, what we're trying to do is see, once we get rejected, are we going to go lower than this? If we don't go lower than this and we stay here, and then you start seeing it break through, that might be a good sign. But again, I would personally hold off right now until we break this point up here, which would be 144.77. I would rather pay a little bit more for a stock, but get it when it's finally uptrending, rather than get in $3 cheaper, but then you take a $10 loss. It's more of a probability game, and I always try to trade direction first, stop loss out less than what my profit is. And that's kind of been my goal, and it's been working really well for me. And I've been trading the same strategy for about 8 years now, and it's been working. So that is how I trade. This is how I break down the stocks. I track the days, and I also watch all the fundamentals on this stuff, and then I look into the earnings reports. So that's something I would have to also consider, is the earnings reports of these, because I don't track every single stock. I only track the stocks that I actually trade. But if you guys don't have any other stocks to break down, we can end the live stream here. I'm glad I finally got the microphone to work. Um, I'm not sure what that was. Sorry about that last video because I did see that like that it worked early on, but then it kind of turned off because I was hearing my sound and then I thought it was just working. So, but yeah, we are prepping for this week. Oh, I can also break down what reports are coming out. We don't have any major reports coming out next week, except for Friday. There's like 4 reports. Some of them are going to be releasing at 8:30, some of them at 10. So Friday is going to be a very volatile day for stocks. It doesn't matter what stocks you're trading. It's a good idea to be aware of what reports are coming out because you might be opening up a trade and 5 minutes later you get a report comes out bad and then you just break through your support, you know. So it might be a good idea to be aware, and I update you guys every single day on that stuff on my shorts. So if you guys subscribe, if some of you are not subscribed yet, I'm going to be updating more on the Weeble stock, but if there's other stocks you want me to break down, just make sure you comment them and I will be doing these on Sunday breaking down stocks. But yeah, we're going to end the live stream here and I'll see you guys on Monday tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching.